Well, here we are, Corey. Just a brand new episode today. It's going to be a little different today. We don't have a special guest except for
I don't know. He is kind of a special human.
young guns.
Right?
Kind of the young guns.
It's young gun, you know. Absolutely. Well, there's been lots going on.
Like tons going on. We've had a busy year in general at the firm. Lots going on in the world. Stock markets apparently just go up, never go down.
Ever.
And that's and that brings up, like, it's funny because lots of people are asking me questions about that. Like, what do you think? What's your experience? But it's very euphoric right now.
It's pretty crazy.
It is crazy.
You know, it'll the ride will end at some point, but you don't want to get off just yet.
But people bet like it's not going to. That's the...
Well, yeah, everybody forgets, right?
Yeah. So maybe we should give a little background here. I know Mike's been on before, but just for the people who just tune in, usually we have our, a business owner or entrepreneur guest. Today we're bringing in Michael Lutes, who's a CEO and a director of financial planning for the firm. Is there anything else you want to add about Michael and some of the expertise he's going to add today?
Well, what are all the great things that Michael does on a day-to-day? It's actually pretty incredible what this man accomplishes, and we're very, very fortunate to have him on our team.
Wow, that's nice.
Yep.
Don't blow me up too much, though,
Yeah.
Well, you got an hour to play.
That's great. Well, welcome to the show, Michael.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Really excited to have you here. I know we're going to get into some really great topics today, and we've got lots of fun on.
Lots of fun. I figured if I'm gonna, show up about once a year, twice a year, I might as well make it something memorable. So brought a little something special to the table. Fill you guys in a little more later.
Oh, good. We're going to
couple surprises.
That's fantastic. So we're already talking a little bit about headlines and things that are popping up. People are seeing, in the news. Some of the things I think are really interesting is often, whether you're on TikTok, you're on Instagram Reels, you're on Facebook, everyone is seeing, a lot of, fictional advice or stuff that just isn't true. One of the ones that I often see things like money can bring you happiness. So things like that. So what are some of the weirdest pieces of financial advice that you guys have stumbled across in the recent future that you remember?
Well, the money can't buy happiness one, or can. I think there's a lot to be said on that, and
sure.
I've got some little tidbits there, but I'm not going to go there yet. One that's come up a few times in the last maybe 3 to 6 months is trusts, and just the trusts being the panacea, to avoid tax and pass on wealth without any issues with CRA. And I find people often come in and kind of have this idea of, second property comes up, they're talking about their cottage, and they just say, "Oh, I'm just going to transfer it to a trust, and that way my kids can take it over, and we're not going to have to pay any tax." It's like, okay, well, settle down here. Let's pump the brakes. There's certainly going to be tax to pay. Now, you can do some things with trusts to help manage your objectives, but too often I find people think that trust can just be this kind of be-all, end-all. So I find that one coming up more this year than ever, I would say.
It is so true. I'm seeing a lot of that too.
What about crypto? Crypto's a real get rich. You can get rich off of crypto really fast now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And there's no risk.
None.
This is what I'm hearing, right? I
None. It's real.
If I've been to one dinner, I've been to 10, and that gets brought up a lot. Is people say, "Hey, I heard from a friend, or I heard from a friend of a friend," and it's like, "Hey, what do you think of this crypto? All the bitcoins." It's obviously a topic of conversation.
Oh yeah.
Not dying anytime soon.
I don't think people get the risk there.
No, and that's, I think there's a lot to be said about its staying power. We were talking about its staying power 3 or 5 years ago. It's still here. It's growing. It's going. It's got staying power.
Yeah.
But there are many ways to go wrong, and there is a wild amount of volatility, and a lot of people they can't handle that emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
But the get rich quick can sometimes pull them in, and then they have the rug pulled out from under them.
I think there's a lot of FOMO that goes on with this whole cryptocurrency.
You get all the lingo now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm asking. I inquire. What is this? Like, this is a. I'll come up with some. That's fire, Corey. That's totally fire. Yeah. But I find in the last 10 years, we have seen things like the pot stocks. That was a big one. Some got in. A lot of people got really wealthy off of that. And it's always the people who are envious of that, that incredible wealth people made at one point, and then some got really hurt.
Yes.
And then EV vehicles. So whether you were one of the first adopters to jump on Tesla, but you saw things like Tesla and EV vehicles, and some were early in the game and did really well, and then some were late in the game and did not do well. And I feel like here we are. This is the third round that we've had in a decade on something really attractive. But there is going to be people who do really well with this. But
For sure. Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
And, you hear those stories.
Yep.
But there's ones who are going to be facing a great deal of pain and have no idea what risk they're into right now.
Well, when I think about crypto and a great deal of pain, it's those ones that lost their wallets that hurt the most. Oh my gosh.
Sure.
But that speaks to financial management and some of the work we do, right? It's helping people to get organized and to make sure that they have everything in the right lane. I know crypto and crypto wallets is far outside of our day-to-day scope, but you look at somebody that did maybe make a purchase, 8 or 10 years ago and then lost track. And it's like, hey, if they could have been a little more organized and kept things straight, they might have a couple $100,000 right now that they don't.
Sure. And some people are going to get the calls wrong too. Like I saw an analyst talking on, it was like this is a video from 5 or 6 years ago or even longer. And they were talking about the pricing then. And they were like, oh, that's ridiculous. It'll never be higher than, 10,000 or whatever it was at the time. And of course now you'd jump in that all day long.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think some of the things though too, in the day-to-day is actually helping someone understand what risk means to them.
Absolutely.
Right? Sometimes we get people that don't take enough risk.
Right.
And that can hurt you just as much as taking too much risk.
Yeah. Defining risk in conversations we have is absolutely critical. Because it's not always just win or lose, right? It's having poor timing decisions, being forced into poor timing decisions, or getting emotional and getting off of a strategy when it gets hard. But sometimes those are the best times to actually get in or double down or, so you're exactly right. It can go both ways.
Yeah.
We're in this funny era right now where I feel like it's very vogue for people to turn away from financial advice. And it's probably because of mismanagement about how the industry ran for so long. I mean, obviously heavily commissioned. It wasn't always in somebody's best interests. But I feel like whether it's, Money Sense magazine or some of the articles that you come across your desk, there is a lot of pressure that I see, and even new clients coming in where they want to do it yourself. They want to DIY. See, that's another one. That's another
DIY.
Acronym.
The old guy says DIY. The correct term is DIY.
Yeah, it's like saying TSFA.
Yeah.
No, it's a TFSA. But no, it's true. So I think a lot of people, they want to do it themselves. They want to avoid financial advice. They think they're going to be farther ahead. Less people with a hand in the pocket, less fees. But sometimes to avoid all that, you're actually causing yourself a great deal of more headache down the road, or risks that you probably, like to your point, Corey, about risks, like they're probably not even seeing some of the risks and they're right there, that someone could say, hey, there's a risk right there you should be aware of, but they don't know about it.
Absolutely. I mean, some of the biggest value adds of, the research shows this and bears it out, that an advisor brings is when things are really hard. When everything's rosy, that's not when, we really prove our mettle.
Right.
It's when markets go off a cliff and we keep somebody in the game several times through that experience that then they reap 20%, 30%, 40% rewards because they didn't make a rash decision at the wrong time.
Well, look at now. We've got stock markets at all-time highs, right? And people are asking, should I go to cash now? Not even when a correction has happened.
This is why I don't like the benchmark conversation. I don't like that. I find because people will gauge that management on there, but not on the risk management side.
Yeah,
definitely. Again, defining risk is critical. I find when we think about making good decisions and gathering advice, there's going to be some people that can do it themselves and do extremely well, but they're going to be the minority because so much of money decisions comes down to emotion and personality and communication with the people that are close to you, if it's your spouse, if it's your business partner, and you need somebody that's kind of outside of that picture that can be more objective and can understand you and then guide you in the right direction. Sometimes validate what you're already doing. Lots of people do great things on their own, but they still want somebody to say, yeah, keep going. This is it. This is the right move. You're doing great. And that can be monumental, or else they're going to worry about it when they're trying to hit the pillow at night. Right. I know that's the easy metaphor, but it's true. If we can eliminate that stress and anxiety and take that decision-making fatigue off of them, then they can focus on the things they really care about.
Right. You guys had anybody trying to use AI yet? You know, that artificial intelligence to
Yeah,
kind of like solve some of their own problems again, like trying to do it themselves. You had that yet?
I have.
I've had a couple that are trying, to do the. Is it DIY? What are we focusing on here? Is it DIY?
Yeah.
It's
D-
DIY, right?
Do
It's
it
DIY.
yourself.
Yeah, it's DIY.
A DIY.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen that though? Like people like they're trying to learn themselves out of this and just say, I'm going to avoid using an advisor, but I'm going to use AI for this.
I haven't actually heard that
No?
yet.
Okay.
I have had clients say, I put this question into ChatGPT and
Right.
here's what it was saying, but then they still are asking me for that validation.
Sure.
They want my interpretation of the response. And that's cool. Like that's kind of like doing your own Excel worksheet and then coming to your advisor saying, here's what I kind of think my projections look like, but
Yep.
can you take a second look and, work your magic to see if I'm finding any blind spots or if I'm looking at things the wrong way.
I had my
I
first
don't
one.
mind it.
I had my first one just this past week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, had used AI, inquired, asked as to if we were going to help with some financial planning, could we incorporate their recommendations that they received from AI into the financial planning models that we did, and that was like hadn't even seen it yet.
Interesting.
So I hadn't seen it, but they were very certain about wanting to use that, that workbook that they had received or notes that they had received. So we had to do some chatting about just like, language models and how they work. And it may well be something that we want to look at, but it doesn't mean just, I think a lot of people have a belief that artificial intelligence or AI as it's marketed is this brain, like something off of science fiction, where we're going to inquire and it's going to know everything perfectly. And sometimes it nails it, but it's really predictive behavior. It's just predicting what the next answer should be relative to your question. So sometimes it's right, but sometimes it's wrong. I've seen it wrong a few times. So it's not always right. You really got to be careful. Obviously, we're all using it. I mean, it's good to use and it's very functional, but it may not give you all the right answers, especially when you're thinking this is 100% correct.
Yeah, I think, again, it's a great tool. And again, I'm not a predictor of what the world's going to look like in
Right.
10 years in terms of technology and that sort of thing.
It's going
But
to change it.
it's going to be, and already is, incredibly powerful. So I think, again, back to the Excel spreadsheet example, like I'm sure we'll continuously have clients that come with kind of something they got from AI, but still looking for that human validation, the human that understands them and their day-to-day, their family dynamics, their business dynamics, to then put the final seal of approval onto maybe what they've come to the table with.
Perfect.
And I think the other thing with the DIY period, no matter whether it's investing, planning, working on your own house, you have to have time.
Yes.
You have to be able to allocate time to this stuff to be able to execute, right? And
Absolutely.
how can you do your regular job and life and family and everything and do that as well?
Right.
Look, I can't.
Right.
There's not enough time in the day. Sure, maybe when I was younger and didn't have the demands of that life has now, but I think it truly comes down to that, right? And
Totally.
the stats have been proven again and again and again that the value of advice is going to provide you with a much better overall return in your life.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Well, it's like, reminds me of, it's eating your broccoli. Like we know there's all kinds of great financial decisions and things we should be doing. We all have our own kind of, personal pitfalls and habits that maybe aren't great for our net worth or whatever. But it's easy when you know you're doing something a little bit wrong to just push it to tomorrow and push it to tomorrow and push it to tomorrow. And then literally 5 years goes by, 10 years goes by.
Right.
And the business owners especially, they're suffering from that day in and day out because they have so many demands
Right.
in their entrepreneurial journey.
Right.
They're trying to juggle the family. Like, how can you possibly be a DIY investor and financial, guru
Right.
when you're trying to run a multi-million-dollar business?
And they try. Sometimes I see it there that they actually do try. Like they're trying to juggle all these different areas. And they're usually pretty good. Like the people who are entrepreneurial, I find are usually pretty good at doing whatever they put their mind to. It just happens to be that they only have so much time.
Yeah.
So earlier on in their cycle, they probably had more time to spend doing investments or overlooking their their financial situation, but as their team or their business has grown, it almost becomes impossible. So quite often when we come into conversations, like I can think of several, where you're coming in and this small organization has grown to something very substantial. The valuation has increased substantially as far as what it was worth when they started it to what it's worth today. But the problems have multiplied. Like they've now got several owners. I'm thinking of one particular case now where I'm sitting in front of the owners and we're having this kind of a discovery conversation. And there's problems there immediately in the first 15, 20 minutes that I can pick up that they weren't aware of because they just want to say, are we okay? Are we on track? They think they're in a really great financial position. But suddenly it's like, we're talking about the shareholders agreement. It's not funded properly. There's no exit strategy for one of the partners. One is closer
What does that
to
mean,
retirement.
Shawn? When you say shareholders agreement, what does that actually mean for somebody?
Sure. Well, for a business owner, typically this is one of the first things they're going to miss is that it's easy if you and I get into business together, we're going to run a corporation or something and say, this is our plan. And we just start on day one. But a lot of times we're going to recommend to have a shareholders agreement, which is an agreement between the owners to say, what does that look like if all of a sudden you and I don't agree? Or if one of us
that would never happen.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing for us is that we can find a way to have conversations, but sometimes people have roadblocks there. And it's like, what happens if you can't have a good conversation or you're not successful there? How do you navigate that? And it's really just a kind of a rule book to say, this is how you're going to, navigate those difficult conversations. Or if someone has to leave, like sometimes if there's a problem or someone wants to exit because they've asked to exit, or sometimes somebody, an employee or a partner might have to exit because of circumstances that aren't favorable to the company. So that when do those circumstances get triggered? What does that look like? What does retirement look like? What happens if someone gets sick or someone dies or gets disabled? And there's usually, it's all, again, I use the rule book example. It's really just a big rule book that the business partners can look at and just help solve problems. It doesn't solve everything, but it really gives you a starting point. And a lot of people don't have that. And if they do have that, I'd say 90% of the time I don't see it as funded. So they might say, well, if Corey and Shawn are in business together, that's the rule book that I'm talking about. If one of them dies, then the business will just pay back the shares. They'll take the shares back and then pay the estate with the shares. But sometimes that's discussed in the shareholders agreement, but it's not funded because there is nothing to fund it. There's not enough business or not enough revenue in the company to pay that family at estate time.
So like business is worth $10 million.
Right. That share is
The
worth
shareholder owns
$2 million
half
or
of it or
three or
okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then like, okay,
Where's
this
this
particular
money come
example
from?
I was talking about earlier, I believe that's about similar numbers.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of, okay, if this partner dies today, how does this business survive going forward? It was doing really well the last 2 or 3 years,
Right.
but can it survive if we take out $3 million today from the business to pay that estate to relieve the company of that obligation? How does that look going forward now? What's the balance sheet look like now? Is it going to be in a really bad position? And if it is, that's not what you want as a business owner. So those conversations, but catching those, but to your point, like people are running out of time. They don't have the time to look at this. So they really need a professional sometimes just to come in and kind of point it out.
It would be kind of something similar to say if you didn't have a will.
Right. Well, this is disastrous.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why is that disastrous? If you don't have a will in Canada, in Ontario, for most people, they don't really know the consequence of that.
Well, there's different intestate laws depending on which province you're in. So I find that right away you start bringing this up. Most people don't realize.
What does intestate mean?
So intestate, this means that the provincial government is going to look after where the estate flows. So they have pre-scripted rules which do vary. So to answer someone's question, well, how's this going to look like for me? We'd have to look at, well, where are you residing when you pass? But it's really important to have those because the instructions of what happens if you're intestate is significantly different than what you might have if you wanted to leave it to, say, you've got family or you've got a charity that's really important to you, or you want to make sure your spouse is looked after and your children and your stepchildren.
Yep.
So sometimes those considerations aren't taken into place, especially when it comes into play with having no will.
Yeah. I mean, you've mentioned a couple of those terms. I mean, blended families especially need to have this thing taken care of. But anybody with assets that cares about where they go when something happens to them, it's as simple as that. Right. And of course, people expect they're going to live a long time and they don't want to spend the $1,000+ on a will. I totally get it. But I just put it as simply as, do you want the province dictating who gets what when, or do you want to make those determinations?
Of course.
And you could have a liquidity crisis too in that situation, right? Like if all of a sudden everything's locked up.
Oh,
Like I don't think people actually realize what transpires there.
No, of course.
You could have a couple $1 million or $1 million or whatever the number is. You might not be able to touch this.
Right. Especially for business owners. Like if you're talking about that business owner that has a very profitable business and now they've got a partner and something happens to that partner, dies, gets in a terrible car accident or has a heart attack over the weekend. Now the company needs money, and they need probably more money than they have sitting in their bank account.
Mm.
Well, on the death of one of the major shareholders, it may be a terrible time to go into the bank and ask for money. So you're going to go in and say, hey, we need to pay off the estate, and this is what we need. We need $3 million.
Yeah.
But they're going to say, okay, great. So one of your revenue producers for your company, the people that maybe it's in charge of marketing or growth or acquisitions, that person's no longer here. You expect to believe that the company is still going to have the same trajectory without this person.
Right.
And you want us to give you $3 million. Like you're probably in a very precarious position.
No captain of that ship anymore.
Yeah. So this is a really bad time to be asking for capital. Like you're always
The
best
worst.
to ask for it at the best time in your cycle, not at the worst time. And that's probably your worst time.
Yeah, absolutely. And that reminds me of another point, which is, imagine a solopreneur builds up their business. They're the only one. They started small, grew it up. It could be a 10-person operation, 20-person operation,
Right.
but maybe they don't have a business partner. So it's just them signing off on every corporate transaction.
Right.
They don't even have their spouse as a signer. Don't even have their spouse involved in the corporate account because,
Right.
they're doing their own thing. They've got their own job. It just wasn't a thought when they first set up the corp. Now that spouse can't even do anything until the funds are
That's
not
right.
frozen. The accounts are let
right.
go. The estate's dealt with.
I've heard some big horror stories when it comes to
Oh.
like the actual banking side of things.
Oh, that's where I think the majority of the problems happen, right? Is you'll get lots of institutions that are waiting until the estate is settled.
Sure.
So your funds are totally locked up.
when you're in crisis mode because when you're either your life partner,
Yep.
or your business partner, or your really important executive
Yeah.
has died, and you're dealing with that. Come on.
Yeah. I think we did it pretty good. Like when I went to Nepal in the fall, I think we did a pretty good job.
Did you go on a big hike or something?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to plug that a
You
little
went
bit.
somewhere?
Yeah.
I wanted to throw it in there. But it's so when I went on the hike in the fall, we got that right. Like it was not, I don't want to take all the credit because it was the conversation between the three of us, but we continued to talk about the importance of having paperwork in place. So if something was to happen, again, because it was higher risk. I mean, I'm going to go to the Himalayas. Who knows what happens? We need to make sure the company had everything in place before I left. And I felt really good about that. And that would be a really good learning point for me to kind of pass along to any other business owners to say, hey, if you're in a position with partnerships, with a good company, you really need to have paperwork in place that supports what might happen should you get disabled, die, something tragic happens. You just can't leave it to chance.
Trampled by an elk.
All that.
Or
Avalanche.
mountain yak.
And stuff happened. Like
Oh, yeah,
stuff happened
yeah,
after
yeah.
I left.
I
Like
joke,
it was
but
crazy.
it's-
So I flew really close to the sun there. So I don't. That's about as close as I'm going to get to the sun. I think this time. I might have maxed out there.
Yeah.
That's really great to hear, actually, going into 26.
Yeah. We can have fewer heart palpitations.
Just gotta spend more time curling.
Yeah.
There you go.
Keep things quiet.
ice can
Yeah,
get
yeah,
slippery,
yeah, that's
but,
right.
you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, as a business owner, whether you're 1 year in business or 20 years in business, like what are some of the things that we should be really focusing on? What should we be paying attention to outside of doing all the great things that the business is supposed to do? Like when we talk about planning, when we talk about tax efficiency, like all these jargon buzzwords that we hear that probably go over everybody's head.
Yeah.
What are some of the things we should be talking about or focusing on? Or if somebody's listening right now, like what would be a message that we want to get across to somebody that's in that seat?
It's coming up for you, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, one term that comes to mind a lot, and it goes back to some of these 3-letter, 4-letter words or acronyms, is the CDA, or capital dividend account, right? That's one that comes up in conversations a lot with us because it's a source of great opportunity and a source that needs to be managed. And most business owners, as they accrue corporate wealth, at least in the early stages, it's not part of the picture because maybe they don't have the means for kind of CDA accumulation. So we'll talk a bit about what that is here in a moment, but that one comes up a lot. So what does somebody need to do there? Well, annually, you've got to be looking at how you want to manage that account. So let's break it down for the average person here. So a capital dividend account, it's essentially just a notional account. It's not a bank account. It doesn't have dollars in it that you can pull from, but it's a tracking account. And so as you accrue investments in your corporation.
How do you accrue?
How do you accrue? Yeah, okay. So first you got to have revenue, right? Every business needs a revenue stream, at least one, if not several. So you've got your corporate revenue. You're going to have expenses every year, and then you're going to have the difference, which is your profits.
Right.
You're going to pay tax on those profits, and then you are going to have some retained earnings or leftover money in simple terms that still remain in your corporation. And with that money, you've got options. One of the options is to invest in things that will appreciate in value. I would hope that's most of what people are investing in.
Right. Not the depreciating.
Yeah,
you don't want the
yeah.
depreciating.
Yeah, if you buy something like that, it's not really an investment.
Well, sometimes I guess.
Yeah. So what happens is, let's just give an example. You buy a fund, you buy a stock portfolio. Over time, those assets are going to appreciate. They're going to grow in value.
So if you bought it for $100 and it goes to $500,
yeah.
What happens there?
Yeah, so you're in a position right now, if you haven't done anything yet, you're in an unrealized gain position. You've got a $400 gain.
The difference,
right? You went from 100 to 500. And then at some point in time, you may sell that asset. You might decide that that's not the stock that you should hold, and so you're selling it to buy something else. You might decide you need the money in your corporation or even in your personal life, and so you might sell out of that position. Let's forget, it doesn't matter why. Right now, we're just focused on the mechanics. So when you sell out of that position, half of that $400 gain is non-taxable. Only half of a capital gain is taxable.
Right.
So that other half that's non-taxable, that adds credit to your capital dividend account. And all that says is, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Shareholder, you can now take some money out of your corporation, tax free.
We can say that.
Tax.
Whoa.
Right? How
Like
cool is
magic.
That? How cool is that?
Yeah, that's so true, right?
But I think it comes back to, right? So people sit on gains, whether it's personal or corporate, because they're scared of tax.
Right.
Right? I don't want to pay the effing tax. I don't want to pay the government any more money. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Isn't this a good idea to do this?
Well, so here's, and again, I'll wrap this up quick on this part, which is, of course, you don't always want to be triggering tax, but occasionally you've got to trigger some tax. And there's one big reason, which we saw last year, which was the potential that tax rates were going to go up. So right now, capital gains are taxed pretty favorably. It's not a bad time to take some of those off the table and bring your CDA credit down while taxes are reasonable.
Let's remind people again, like this is often when I think when I'm talking to people, they forget the different types of tax, right? You got income, you get taxed by dividends, taxed by capital gains. So where does capital gains fit, Mike, in relation to those three?
I mean, almost always it's the best.
Right.
And if you have any kind of investment gains,
right,
you want them to be capital gains from a tax perspective. And it is just, simply because half it's not taxable. But even better, and again, in a corporate example, you can get that non-taxable portion out into your jeans to go pay your mortgage, buy a car, put in your tax-free savings account, tax-free.
I think that the favorable position that capital gains has gets lost though, right? I mean, it often, like you can just see the hair stand up on someone's neck when you're talking about a capital gain. As soon as they start looking at, oh, your investment portfolio's done really well, here's the capital gain. And then boom, you've suddenly got somebody who's a little surprised. Yeah, they're like, woo. And because to your point, Corey, no one likes to get taxed.
Yeah.
But man, like you're creating money and creating wealth, and it's not a bad deal.
No.
relatively speaking.
Because let's throw it on its head. So if you decided I have the same scenario, I bought the stock at $100 and it's now 500, it's a little bit of a different scenario on the personal side than the incentive to do it on the corporate side.
Well, personally, I personally, it's similar in that half it's going to be taxable, and so you have the other half that's still not taxed. But in a corporation, if it's not capital gains and it's interest or dividend, you're going to have an extra layer of tax when you get it out to your personal. You've got to pay dividend tax, right? So you have the initial corporate investment tax. Man, we're getting tax heavy. Ooh, doctor.
Yeah, a lot
Look
of tax.
out.
Whoa.
But then you again need to get it out to your genes by paying a dividend tax. So that's the difference there. If you can accrue gains via something with capital gain orientation, then you can get it out to your genes without paying a dividend tax. That's amazing. And we see this again, another side of this, really the other big way to accrue capital dividend account credit is with life insurance proceeds. Right. So that's a huge advantage for corporate situations, for business owners to do something a little different that they can't do personally.
Sure.
Yep.
I think a lot of times when I'm looking at this, I think people think that their advisors already discussed or looked at some of this stuff. And I worry that sometimes that's not being considered. Like what we're talking about here, because I realize that people may not catch on to everything that we're talking about.
Right.
But sometimes that's not being looked at. Like I have so many pictures, like I'm thinking about clients that have come in believing that their advisor had already properly reviewed everything. Everything was in their best interest. But I'm still seeing, some really, technically poor situations that the client shouldn't be in. Like I'm thinking of one case where the client came in, they're a sophisticated investor, $1.5 million. They had reached out on social media to ask if we could help, of course, and offered to review. And they said, you know what, we're going to be sitting fine because I've already gone to this previous advisor and told them I don't want to be in anything that's, I don't want to be in deferred sales charge fees. I don't want to have, these awful solutions, which have been really thrown around a lot in the financial industry. But in fact, there's $1.5 million in DSCs.
Jeez.
And it's awful. It's an awful situation. I shouldn't laugh, but that's the stuff you see. So you see some awful solutions, but sometimes the client who's even sophisticated by nature thinks I'm receiving excellent advice by a professional, and that's not always the case.
Yeah.
So how do they navigate that, Mike? Like, maybe we throw in, like, how does someone make sure that if Corey's discussion piece, like if they want to know more about CDAs and proper structure and making sure there's tax efficiency in their corp, like how do they know that they're already doing it or they've been given good advice?
I mean, I think it starts, let's assume first that if they have advice, let's assume that their advisor's doing a good job.
Yeah.
They just might not know it, right? Sometimes the communication between advisor and client, the client doesn't know what the advisor's actually thinking of and doing and navigating. So I think asking questions, not being shy with your advisor if you have one, and not being afraid to offend them. I think that is often the worst approach. Is if you're afraid to offend your advisor, you're gonna shy away from the tough questions.
Right.
But they get this stuff all the time. They know it. They've got no problem explaining it. If they do, that's a red flag.
Right.
That's the red flag that you should be extremely concerned about.
Sure.
So I think, if you've got the advice, go to your advisor and ask questions that maybe you just haven't had the guts to kind of put on the table.
Yeah, like talk about fees.
Yeah.
There's a tough conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's sensitive.
How much are you charging me? Like that's
Yeah.
right?
Point blank.
Sure.
Yeah.
We
have that conversation a lot.
Yeah, sure. And you have to be, I think, in order to be professional in 2025, 2026, 2027 and beyond, like really have to have full transparencies, be working in the client's best interest, talk about fees, talk about those hard conversations. It's really hard to quantify the work and value that an advisor brings us. This is what I'm worth.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's the fair. The client should know what that's being charged and be okay with that. But so many people aren't even aware of the fees.
Yes.
It's really a blind spot for a lot of investors. And then maybe we should just hint at the game we're going to do, because I want just a hint.
Oh, sure.
Just
Oh,
give me a hint.
we're
This is a
really
tough
pivoting
conversation.
here. We're
Then we're
pivoting.
going to go back to this fee thing, but I just want to like break up the conversation.
Yeah. So
Give me a hint on what this is. Keep it light here.
for anyone out there that's seen any of the the talk shows, sometimes they play these games. I know there's a YouTube channel that plays them often. Truth or Dare, Truth or Drink. Excuse
Truth
me.
or Dare. We're doing that.
Truth or Dare.
Wow.
Yeah. Truth or Drink.
We're gonna have to ask JP to like.
It's like we're at a
Yeah, it's
university.
crazy.
or
This is like
something,
Yeah, who knows what he's going to see through the
yeah.
no, Truth or Drink, and we normally it's alcohol related. We've got several drinks, and only
Right.
one of them is alcoholic.
Oh,
Okay.
But we're gonna ask some fun questions,
Awesome.
and drink some things that might make your hair stand up a little.
Oh,
bit.
fantastic.
Your nostrils
Great.
get a little twitchy.
Well, since we're on, that's great, Mike. I'm looking forward to some of that.
Yeah, of course.
Let's go back to that fee thing. So, fees. We have some major changes happening in the next 6 months, 12 months, 18 months.
Yep.
That's going to affect pretty much everyone in regards to their portfolio and their awareness of fees. Let's talk about total cost reporting. This is something that probably more people should be talking about. This can become something that you're going to see in your mailers that are coming out to clients. But let's talk about how this can impact most people.
Yeah. So first off, when does this begin?
Right.
So January 2027 is when people will start to see the change, but the change will be communicated back about the time period starting
Right.
January 1st, 2026.
Right.
So it's right around the corner. So if I was to explain it, which I've explained it to several clients already, is at the end of the day, if you break it down in simple terms, you pay a fee for your underlying investments, and you pay a fee for your advice, service, management, oversight, and all the secondary services that an advisor brings outside of a portfolio. And so those fees have notoriously, like for the long term of our careers, they've all been wrapped up in one together and embedded within funds where clients don't even see them. Hopefully they knew about them, but I know sometimes they don't. So that was that's the way it used to be when I started, back in 2012 anyway. And what happened, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, is they started to report on the advisor and service fees more clearly. We made some big changes,
Right.
like 5 or 6 years ago at this point,
That's right.
to start unbundling.
That's
and
right.
really putting a priority on
Transparency.
Transparency.
Client understand
We
what they're
want you to
getting paid.
understand
Right.
this is what you're getting paid. You'll see it every
Right.
month or every quarter or every
Right.
year.
There's nothing to hide.
That's right. That's right.
Here's the fee. Here's what you get based on your fee. Here's your expectations. Right. I think it's really important that this has happened because the industry has done a poor job. And just because you have a positive balance in your investment account doesn't mean that your fees aren't too high.
Right.
Right. No, it's true. Like I think there's a lot of games that being played in the last 4 or 5 years, because when that first came out, we were almost in stage one of several.
Yeah.
And some firms and some advisors, I feel like, are still stuck. They haven't made any changes.
Right.
So there is clients right now in the city and other cities all around that they're still in a wrapped fee where they don't see the product fee and they don't see the advisor fee.
Yep.
And that's still the game that's going on right now.
Yep.
When we made the changes, we disclosed our fees, which is our fees as a firm to look after and provide advice and oversee. So you would have thought, because of that transparency, that what would be happening is that eventually this would be lowering all the fees for clients, but that's not what was happening. It's like what's happening is they've been lowering the fees on the investment side, but meanwhile advisors have been yanking up the fees on the investment advice side. So there is some firms and places
there's so many different ways to do
where
it.
they're ultra low on the investment advice, or ultra low on the investment piece, but they've yanked up their actual advice fee probably 40% more than what they should be. Like when we look at ours, we've lowered ours to be very competitive, to keep the fees low for all of our clients. And that's something that we've done tactically to make sure we're competitive, do the best thing for the clients. But again, there's lots of firms that take advantage of that. And I just think it's been a bit of a gong show for a while.
Yeah. So in 2027, to bring it all together, what clients will see is they're going to see the product cost and the advisor service fee.
Right.
Very explicit in percent and dollar terms on their statements. That's going to be a huge change for people. It's going to be new. Some people won't care. Some people go, "Oh yeah, I knew this. My advisor told me I'm paying 0.55% for my fund, or 0.25 or 0.75 or whatever."
Right.
But it's still going to be a different experience.
Of course.
And so that's the big change, is just that it's called total cost reporting, because it's going to show both the
Both
product
sides.
cost,
See the whole thing.
underlying, and the advice that surrounds it.
And that's the way it should be.
100%.
Yeah.
We always, when we lay out a portfolio for a client, we're always educating them on, okay, here's how these funds are priced.
Right.
And there's a wide variety, and sometimes cheaper is better, and sometimes you pay for something and you get something for it. But there's, to hear it once and have a portfolio go into place,
right,
is different than seeing it every statement. So it's going to be new. It's going to be
I think we're going to the right place. This is going to help clients for sure. It helps continue to professionalize our industry and how we operate. But I think it's going to be a big shocker for some people.
Yeah, some firms especially.
Well, I think it's, the advisors that have been running embedded, right? And so for those that are listening that don't know what embedded is, it just means that it's an all-in-one, total fee that you see there, and you don't know what everybody's getting paid.
Yeah, you just see your net return.
You just see a net return. And as a reminder for everybody listening, in Canada, on your statements, it's always net.
Right.
You're always getting, so if you see that you made 10%, probably the overall portfolio probably made 12 and a half, maybe 13, something of that nature, right? And so you really want to try to hone in. And so then the question becomes, well, what is the right level of fees? How much fees should one be actually be paying?
Right.
Like how does a client, how does somebody that is not familiar determine what's appropriate?
Right. Is it pulled back with the amount of assets, which I think is really common.
Yeah.
And we do see that, and that's what we do too. But there's a lot of places that, I don't know, fees are out of control. This will put a hampering on how fees are charged.
Well, it's certainly going to make people open their eyes.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm interested. I'm excited, actually. I'd like change for the better in our industry, and I'm excited to see kind of what comes out of that total cost reporting.
They kind of hurt themselves too, right? Because I know the industry is trying to make help for clients and then be on the client's best interest, but sometimes, like even the statements is a pain point still, because I know.
You mentioned statements
because they're trying, like they're really trying to say, okay, let's make it clear for the client so the client understands what's going on. But I have so many people that inquire that the statements they're not clear.
Yeah.
They're not clear. They're confusing. Yes, there is a regulated format that has to be followed, but I don't think it's not working in the client's best interest for most people.
No,
it's fine for you and I, but not for all.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, certainly no clarity there.
Yeah, and there's some companies that might do it better than others, but even the best of the best, again, because of the things they have to do, it just
have to report.
The language can be just ridiculous in and of itself.
Yeah, and I don't want it cloudy. I just want it so that it's people can understand it. Even when we're talking this podcast, like we have to remind ourselves, like make it, let's break it down
all the time.
We don't need to make things more complicated than they are. Actually, we need to really be purposeful in making things easier to understand, because there's so much misinformation, so much confusion. It's so easy for someone, you think, oh, they understand what I'm saying. But I remind myself when I'm talking to clients, they feel the same as when the tech guy comes in. We've got a great tech company. It's
we do.
We have amazing. Rob, I'll throw him a plug here.
Oh my gosh.
But when they come in, and they say, this is what you need. And they say, hook it up to this router and da-da-da-da-da. Like by the time you're done.
Complete other language.
But I just think that's how my client feels when I'm talking about TFSAs and RSPs and LIRAs and RIFs. And I'm like giving them all these things. And I'm like, sure, whatever you want to do, boss. Like, that's how they probably feel.
It's such a good reminder. Yeah. It's so, we got to, sometimes we do have to be brought back down to earth to just like forget, like we're in this every day.
Right.
So even when we're talking these terms, that we think that most people have these accounts, but it doesn't mean they remember how they work and what to do. And so it's I like the IT example because I've been that guy with Rob and Richard and our IT team. And I'm like, I think I'm fairly intelligent.
I think it's
man, I'm looking at what they're doing and all the things we can do to improve.
We need it. Just plug it in. Just hook it up.
Can you talk to Shawn
Not
again?
a DIYer on that one.
Can I forward this call to Shawn, please?
I felt so good before, like when you start off, you know all the tech, and now I just feel like it changes so fast.
Yes.
It's crazy. And I'm a knowledgeable person when it comes to tech, but it's so much change.
Yeah.
It's scary.
So you're a business owner.
Yeah.
Got some money in your corporation. What should you be doing with it?
Well, you certainly don't want to be leaving it unattended. Like this is common, right? I see too many people that it's easy to accumulate. Maybe not in the early stages. I realize that a lot of people early on, the business owners, small businesses especially, the money's coming in, money's coming out pretty fast, and they're trying to grow. So that money gets used up, at a good clip. But I do see as that the company kind of gets in from the early growth stage to more of a, we're kind of a mature business. Then I do see a lot of companies that come in and they've done nothing on the corporate side. They have their opco with a significant amount of money sitting inside of it, and no strategy or plan.
Like a lot of cash in the bank account.
Just a lot of cash in the bank account. Yeah. Significant. And then if you ask them how much of this is being used on an annual basis, that question is, they really don't have the answer for that. So money's coming in, money coming out. They, as from a planning perspective, it would be nice to know what's the capital they require in a 1 or 2 year period, but they don't really know.
Yeah. So
then right away you have to go back to the basics to say, hey, what does that look like? And we need to answer that question so I can tell you what we need to do next. And
are you talking to the accountant in that case? Is that usually where you're kind of going back to?
Yeah, usually, because if you ask them, they're so busy sometimes they're saying, I really don't know how to answer that. And so then we have to kind of lean on some of their other advisory professionals just to find out what's the best answer for this. But in order to comment on what they should do, we really need to have better eyes on what's happening day to day so that any operations stuff can stay in the OpCo.
Yeah.
But there's a million reasons why you don't want it all sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you spoke to the just opportunity cost alone earlier, right? Like, yes, you can be someone who takes too much risk, but you can also be someone that maybe is so traumatized by those early business moments where things were really hard and you were doubling down on your mortgage and these sorts of things to get things to float and try to make and payroll and that sort of thing, that you then become very risk averse with the money you make. And you can accumulate hundreds of thousands. We see people sometimes with $1 million in cash.
And when I'm talking true cash, it's a good point you say that. I'm still coming across businesses that are doing lots of cash business. Like, we're not talking cash in the bank account. We're talking cash in a bag under the bed, or cash in a bag in the closet.
Right.
And it's surprising how much businesses operate like that still in this day and age. And to their demise. Like, it's not in their best interests.
Yeah.
This comes up a lot. I'm sure you guys have stumbled across this.
Well, I think you have the element, when the trucker envoy situation happened here in Ottawa, right? You had the federal government lock up bank accounts, right? And so I find the majority of the time when I'm speaking with people that are in that situation where they've got cash under the mattress, they're paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
That's true,
right?
Yeah.
And so I think there's a little bit of that goes on, but when Mike speaks about opportunity cost, if you can earn a stable rate of return over a period of time, the power of compounding is profound, right? People are like, well, I don't get it. Well, if you only earn 3%, Mike's the genius in the room. How long is it going to take us to double at 3%?
Takes about 24 years, Corey.
But if we did it at maybe 7 or 8 or 9,
now we're talking.
How long does it take for something to double at that point?
Oh, you're looking at 10, 9.
How are you doing that so fast,
8.
Mike?
He's so smart. He's our quant.
Yeah. When I point at you,
yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
For those at home that have maybe heard of the rule of 72, or maybe not, Maybe they're golfers, so 72 is a number they can easily
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
I know that speaks to us
Yeah.
a little bit here.
Yes.
Yeah.
The rule of 72 tells you if you have a growth rate and you divide 72 by that growth rate, it'll tell you approximately how long it takes to double the original number. So yeah, you got $1 million at 3%. Well, it'll be 2 million in 24 years.
Yeah, you might be dead at that point.
Yeah. So if you can expedite that process by catching 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you're gonna be doubling that money a few times in the run of 24.
As opposed to sitting in your closet, right? That's the
Ugh.
yeah. I think there's a couple things that come to mind for me when I think about these situations. Is that one, it's a massive security issue. Like I've had some people that have told me sizable amounts,
Yes.
and I'm thinking that is not good because that's the kind of money size that someone would actually harm you or hurt you to access. So we don't want that sitting in someone's. Again,
Let alone if you had a house fire or a
yes,
flood
no,
or
totally,
like,
all the above.
For people that don't realize it,
Yeah.
your cash is only insured for like $500.
Right.
Right. Your house burns down. You got 500 grand in cash.
No.
You ain't getting her back.
And then valuation wise, like when I talk to accountants, because we do stumble across this, especially when it's small businesses and they're kind of doing cash businesses. And of course, from our side, that's not what we want. So we really, we need to direct them into like get away from that kind of business legitimately. So when I talk to accountants about this, they also stumble across this too. And so one of the examples that I was, thinking about is they had said they had a restaurant owner, and that restaurant owner was running a really successful restaurant. So they was bringing in tons of money. So they had worked for 20 or 30 years, and they're going to sell this. They have every intention of selling off this restaurant and making a boatload of money on this. But because they operate as a cash business, the person wanting to buy it says, "Show me the books. I want to see the books."
Yeah.
It's not there. Like they're saying, "No, trust me. It's bringing in X amount of dollars every month. Like it's rolling in. It's almost guaranteed." But it just significantly puts risk on because the buyer says, "No, I don't see it. Like I know you're telling me that, but I want to see it on the books. I don't want to run a cash business. I want to run a legit business." Yeah. And that right away, it drives the valuation numbers right down. So I can't say, that someone's doing this and it's not going to substantially hurt. Like it's really, they're thinking they're doing themselves a favor, but it's really going to hurt.
Yeah. I mean, it just speaks to, there's so many elements of the value of a business, right? It's not just the revenue generated. It's all kinds of things, how it's managed, how the books are, how clean is it? Have they had any, liability issues? There's so many factors. And again, that's why somebody typically can't do this all themselves.
Right.
They need an expert team, trusted team around them to help them make sense of it all and to keep things on the rails.
Just run it by a professional, get some advice. I think the advice piece is so important.
Absolutely.
Other things I'd say that I see from my seat a lot is people struggling with salary versus dividends, right? And so, for both of the planners in the room, like, why do you want to take, or which one should you take? I have an idea which one you're going to suggest, but I think, I think there's a lot of people out there that think that they're getting further ahead on an annual basis by only taking dividends.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree. And I think that was vogue for a period of time. Like that was a big thing.
Yep.
But I would say that, I really tried to bias some of my suggestions and advice to what I'm hearing also accountants be in favor of, which is the YMPE. So I think there's another one. See, that's
What
crazy.
the hell does that mean?
Big one. Those are some strange letters mixed together.
Yearly maximal pensionable
What
earnings.
kind of a Scrabble score would that get?
Yeah, I pretty good actually. So
That's more than one word.
So I think that, for me, I support salary up into a point, and then, excess of that to dividends is to me is a good position to be in. And there's a couple of reasons for that, right? Because you're still picking up some government benefits, even though sometimes it can be really easily seen as insignificant. But I think it really does add up, and it provides some security. So I think that I do like to have that extra safety net.
Yeah, I would echo that. Like the benefits of salary are often overlooked because people look at those additional benefits like a tax.
Right.
They think payroll tax.
Yes.
When part of that is that's accumulation into your own pension.
Right.
And I think some people have the misunderstanding that CPP is going to get clawed back. No, that's old age security that can be clawed back. CPP is coming in. Sure, if you're at a high income level, you're going to have taxation like you do in every type of income.
Right.
But salary does give you that Canada pension plan benefit. It's well managed. It's well funded.
Right. It's
And-
contributory.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So even if you decide you want to retire, move away. You go to live in Portugal.
Got this.
Yeah, that's right. So maybe we should answer that just for the people that don't know. If you move to Portugal, move to Greece, move to the UK in retirement, are they still going to pay CPP?
Yep. Because you took some of your earnings and you contributed to that plan.
Yeah.
And it's total bullshit that CPP is not going to be here. Right? How many times have we sat in meetings over the years where people, oh, there's going to be gone. It's going to be empty. It's the largest pension in the country. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's over 400 billion now. Like it's not going anywhere. Right?
Right.
It's a big, big machine. It's, for people in the wealth management industry, like we follow what CPP is doing. Like they've written a really good recipe here.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to disappear. But the other thing too that I think gets discounted on the salary versus dividends is you're not creating any RSP room.
Yeah.
Right. No,
Right?
it's massive.
And how will you go to the bank personally if you need a mortgage or if you need to get a car loan?
Lending.
Yeah.
How
Massive.
are you gonna you don't have any income.
Massive.
Nobody's taking dividend income,
Yeah.
right? So it's a real problem out there. So to save yourself maybe $4,000 a year, $5,000 a year, like you're really causing yourself some harm in your future.
Yes.
years.
The saving is offset by the benefits long term.
Yes.
Everybody's got a different situation. There's no perfect combo there, but certainly a combo
Yes.
is the right situation for just about everyone.
Yes.
I would say that with a great deal of conviction.
Even with things like insurance-related products like disability, which uses your income, right, as a factor, that becomes a problem if we don't have any income.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If we don't have enough income showing, you can't get a disability policy, which might be a really good foundation for you in your planning, if you're a successful business owner, because you need to have some security in case something was to happen.
Yes.
And like on disability and all these living benefits, like what does that even mean for a listener? Like what does that even mean when somebody says a disability policy? Like I don't even,
In broad strokes, in the best type of situation, it means if you are sick or hurt or disabled, all three, one of the above, if you can't do your job and thus can't earn an income, or even if your income is just reduced because you can't do your job full time, you could have your income replaced.
Right.
How nice is that?
So you can buy a product to help protect you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's one of the more powerful solutions. Like even for me, like on a personal level, going back, I think it was 15 years ago, I'm on an ATV day with clients and friends, and I broke my back in 5 places. And just as a young professional, so at that point when I'm lying on a gurney in the hospital with a neck brace, and you're wondering, I might have permanent damage. I'm wondering, will I ever work again? And if I don't work from that point on, I'm in a really bad spot. I need to have something coming in because I had plans to continue on, which I'm doing now, continue on in this firm. But what if I couldn't work? So many people are in that situation where what happens if they can't work? Where is that income going to come in? So how are you going to pay for your kids' education? How are you going to pay for your mortgage? How are you going to save for retirement? Right? Because if you don't have any ability to save for retirement, what are you going to do when you get to 65?
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
It's massive. I mean, you take a 35-year-old who has really got their footing in their career. They've started to see their income grow. They're starting to accumulate. And if they like what they're doing, they're probably going to work till 65.
Right.
Probably. So you got 30 years there. Let's just use a round number of $100,000. That's a $3 million income. And we're forgetting inflation. We're forgetting, promotions and raises.
Simple.
If they're making $200,000, that's $6 million of future earnings. So that's what you're protecting.
Right.
You're protecting your ability to continue to earn income through the future. So if you believe in yourself and if you believe that you have the ability to continue earning income into the future, you've got to seriously consider having the right disability insurance policy. Point blank.
Totally agree. Is it time to switch to?
I think it might.
we're
Be
gonna go.
Oh boy,
Let's get out
here
that,
we
let's do
go.
that game, Mike. It's time.
Yep.
I have a lot of supplies in this bag.
Whoa.
Okay, perfect.
Whoa.
I'm excited. Corey and I are excited.
Oh.
First, the nose might
Kleenex.
run, the eyes might tear. We're not sure.
Is this a PG show or like what's happening here?
Awesome.
Oh, Tums.
Oh wow,
Tums.
that's good.
Yeah.
Just
Product
case
I
after.
was thinking about myself.
That's
And I was
product
like,
placement.
We'll
guys
just put
could
this
probably-
right here. Just have it ready to go. Yeah.
Thanks to Tums for sponsoring
Yeah.
the show today.
I can't wait for the indigestion.
Don't know what's in there just yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
This one's pretty self-explanatory.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Very nice. Okay.
All right.
Good.
All right.
This looks worse than it is.
Oh wow.
Moonshine.
That's yeah.
But he said only one's alcohol, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure. Is that gasoline?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
That's good. That
You
doesn't
can
look.
probably tell what that one
That
is.
looks like maybe diesel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's stuff in the bottom of it. Like,
Yeah. One of those we can tell how Mike's cholesterol is.
oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like.
This one needs probably a little stir, maybe
Okay.
There you go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
right there.
Interesting.
Everybody was really
Good. Oh, this is gonna get good. This is gonna. Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
There we go. I was telling my family last night what we're doing today on the podcast, and my son's like, "You're working and doing this?" I said, "Yeah, that's true.
This is our job.
This is my job. If you work really hard in school,
This is what you'll be able to do.
yeah.
Okay, I have an 8-sided die to go with this.
Okay, perfect, wonderful.
Yeah. What are we doing here?
Okay, so we've got some personal truth questions. We've got financial questions, and we've got a 6-sided die or a 10-sided die. What is that?
8-sided
8-sided die.
Yeah.
So odd numbers is a financial question. Even numbers is a personal question. So on the personal questions only, you have to answer the personal question and drink.
Wow.
Okay, but then we roll a second time to see which item you're going to drink.
How do you decide? Oh, you roll a second item to decide
Yeah.
what we're drinking.
Yeah. So
I
maybe we'll
was
just take a turn. Want to just take a turn? Want to do rock paper scissors? Take a turn. What do you want to do? To establish who goes first.
Oh,
I can go first. I can go
okay,
first.
yeah.
Okay, you go
First
first.
before
Beauty is what
beauty?
you're thinking? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna see if it's personal or is it financial related.
ooh, exciting.
Oh, a
7. It's a financial question.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll see. I think I have it. Do you have a question 7 on there, Mike? I've got mine here.
Oh, no, you go ahead. You got it.
What's one piece of advice that applies 10 times more in 2025 than it did in 2015? Oh, geez. I think now it's really to have your finances in an order. I think that before 2015, I've been doing this for over 20 years now. I saw so many people that didn't have an emergency account set up, didn't have any savings, didn't have any awareness of where they're at as far as their own planning. But I think now with where markets are at, volatility, uncertainty of jobs with AI changes, I think it's so important. Like you need to have your ducks in a row, your personal financial ducks in a row, have some savings, have some emergency savings, start having a budget that you can start driving money, live today, but also be able to afford to live tomorrow. I think that's so important. More now than ever.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay, you're up, bud.
So how does it work with the drink? There's no drink in
Not,
that?
not that one. We're going to have to keep
numbers?
going around.
Okay, yeah,
It's,
only on even numbers.
Only even numbers.
Yeah. Oh, with
There's an
6.
even number now.
That's an even one. Corey gets the personal. Do you want to roll again for the question, or we just go to number 6? And a drink. Oh yeah.
Oh, number 6. So I numbered the drinks.
Okay.
and
Oh,
number
so a
6
6.
This one. You're starting right into it here. I don't know how
Nice.
these are gonna
Oh
pour.
yeah, this is going to be good.
Might need a cleanup on aisle 4.
This is going to be good. This is going to be good.
I didn't know I had to wear a diaper today. It looks like
Oh.
soup.
Do you want to know what it is
Oh, this is going to be
before?
so
Do you want to know
good.
what
I
it
think
is
Can I
I-
answer the
before?
question
I think it
first?
should be
and
a
think about it?
surprise. Yeah. Number 6. What's a financial industry buzzword you secretly hate? I can smell that from here.
Really hot.
Get the Tums.
An industry jargon.
Oh my
word
God.
I don't like.
My eyes are watering.
Yeah. Like that? How hot is that?
I was gonna, so I ordered them by like an easy
man.
entry point.
An
But
easy entry.
You rolled a 6. You rolled a 6. So you got
This is fire exit.
Yeah, one of the last ones.
I can literally, my eyes are watering from over here.
A word that I really despise in the industry, that from a jargon standpoint, this is a solid question.
You can take 2 drinks.
I can take
if you're willing to. If you want to pass it to another person, you can then take 2 drinks.
Oh, really?
Oh, 2. No, you can't probably do 2. I think this is the worst one of the bunch. I was going to say compliance, but compliance is not really a jargon.
Yeah, sure.
I'm struggling.
I'll give you mine.
All right.
Holistic.
Oh.
I think
Does it kind of get
Overused.
crazy?
Yeah, it's just overused.
Right.
Yeah.
It got yeah.
So I won't say that anymore.
I mean, if you do, I'll just shudder a little
I'll
bit.
be up by the blackboard saying, so what we do here is some holistic plan. You'll make me,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh.
It's been and
It's
here.
so
Okay,
hot.
I just want to tell you, I've. You want some water? I got some water. I quality
see the
tested. I quality tested each one of these. However,
Quality tested, like for who?
that one's been marinating for a few hours since
Yeah,
I quality
like
tested it. So
At Atomic Energy.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what that one's going to taste
Okay.
like. Oh no! That was a tough start, Corey.
Oh, 8.
8.
Oh, personal again. Okay.
Okay, eight's actually because I only have 6 drinks.
Well, we'll
It's
have to
not
roll
like this,
again.
so
You'll have to roll again to get to
Okay,
determine
1
the
through
drink.
6.
Yeah.
3.
3.
I'll let you know what that is in a
Want
moment.
me to read that off to you?
Financial. That's
Okay, 3.
Financial.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Nice.
while you're reading, I'll pour.
Okay, so number 3, what's one thing your clients would be shocked to learn you don't do with your own finances?
Oh, I knew this one might come up.
Save.
The offshore account,
Offshore account. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so right now
Sure.
I've built up. I mean, I've built up too much cash
Right.
because I've been afraid that there might be a significant enough downturn.
Okay.
And by afraid, I mean I've been
Wants
wanting
a
that
correction.
opportunity.
He wants it.
Right.
So
Buy
I
low.
Like a move, like an
Kinda-
aggressive move. You're trying to get aggressive.
yeah, I had a bit of a
Yeah. Little
liquidity event.
Okay.
Just a little bit of cash
Yeah.
came in, and I was like, I'm just gonna hold off a little bit, and I've been sitting on it, and I'm starting to really. It's bothering me.
Sure.
I think I need to deploy that.
Yeah. Because the timing now becomes a factor. It's like,
Yeah.
oh God.
Like things have been really good the last.
have I
3
done?
months. Like
What
why
have
am
I
sitting
done?
on this?
Sure.
So
Sure.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess back to
yeah.
me again, I guess.
Oh yeah. Do you want to know what that was?
Yeah. What was that one? How was that?
I mean, it's Frank's as the core ingredient.
Okay.
Some water,
Okay.
and then several Thai green chilies.
3. I'm dodging the personal ones. I'm
Several
onto the
Thai green
finance here.
chilies.
I don't know what I'm doing with the rest of it.
3. What's the real difference between a $300 an hour planner and a $75 an hour one? Okay. Well, I can't say quality because sometimes they're just starting. It certainly would make you want to pause. I'd say sometimes it's resources. So sometimes it's going to be because you could have, and it's no guarantee here, because sometimes you're going to have a terrible $300 an hour planner, and sometimes you're going to have a good one. And likewise, you could have a really good $75 an hour planner, and I could have a terrible one. So, but it could be an indicator that this person is just starting off, that they're newer and trying to build up their book or clientele. It could also indicate that they don't have a good support team. Otherwise, they would probably need to drive the numbers up.
Like if your plan shows up on a sticky note.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not always, though. So I just think you almost have to be buyer beware. And you really want to make sure you look at credentials, history, reviews. Again, reviews can be speculative too. But you certainly I would stop and just want to check, ask a few more intelligent questions.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Back
No
to
drink
you.
for you. Oh my
I
gosh.
want Corey to run
Why
it.
does he not get
Roll,
a drink?
roll
I don't know. It must be a
even.
weighted die.
Ooh,
One.
What's your
Oh, that's an easy
personal
entry point.
investment philosophy, really?
What's my investment philosophy?
But one is we're still odd though, so it's only he.
Oh,
he
yeah.
dodged,
Sorry, I was
dodged
jumping
that.
right
I
in
know
there.
you
I was
wanted-
really
You were looking to pour him a second one of those.
Oh, Yes. All right.
Yeah. What's your personal
finish that?
investment philosophy?
No.
Really?
What's my personal investment
Yeah.
philosophy?
Yeah.
Own the things that you own in your life.
Right.
Right?
Like
It's if you own an Apple iPhone, you should own Apple.
Right.
If you have the need for natural gas or hydro, you should own probably Enbridge or Hydro.
Yes.
If you watch Netflix, probably should own Netflix in your portfolio.
Great.
Yeah.
Michael, you're up.
I'm up. I'm trying to wash out your cup for you there, Corey.
Yeah.
3.
3.
Oh,
Okay, I dodged a...
dodge, but you have to roll again because we've already had that question.
Oh,
so we
okay.
need,
Yes.
All right.
Come on. We
1.
already had a 1,
It
didn't
was
we?
1, 2.
Oh, we did that as well.
Okay.
Oh, an 8. Didn't we have an
An
8?
8.
I have an 8 on the financial though. So,
Okay.
what financial tool do you think is totally overhyped?
Well, financial tool. There's one that just comes to mind, but it's because I've had recent conversations about it. Overhyped. Okay, dividend investing.
Yeah.
Dividend investing, because it gets a lot of attention in the media. It has, of course, all kinds of applicable situations. Great for income generation. The amount of times I have people that just want to know about, just want to have dividend investments. They
Right.
don't really care what types of companies, where they are, what types of funds, what type of tax, or what type of, they don't care what account they're in. It's just dividend investing.
Right. Like
It's
the-
always something I need
It's
to.
the mecca.
Yeah. It's the panacea. Like, just
Yeah,
give me a
sure.
dividend
gonna
portfolio,
solve all my
and-
problems.
and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's one.
Yeah. I want a dividend investing, and I want what do they call that? Banking, the infinity banking.
Yeah, there's a good one too.
That's a whole other topic. Watch it fall down the hole.
Yeah.
The hot sauce. Avoid the hot sauce.
It's really awful.
I am getting the rolls. 7. I'm a 7.
You
I'm
can't
on.
be dodging all the drinks. I don't know about these.
Okay.
rules.
I'm going to do
We
a
might
drink.
have to have a lightning
I'm going
round.
to do a drink. I'm going to do a drink. This is for the drink. Which drink do I
Just
get?
fill
This
mine
is
up
for the
with
drink.
rum, please.
5. I'm
5.
getting a 5. Yeah.
5 is this guy right here. This is gonna make you go.
This one here.
He's a mixologist.
Try not to pour you too much. I think I went a little heavy with Corey.
Yeah, that was aggressive. Like, you got to be able to just have
These
a
are
little
bigger
shot.
than shot glasses. They're
Okay, so.
Oh,
you
I
know
know what
after?
that is.
No,
I
no,
can
no, no.
smell it from here.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Michael, for this. Was a great idea. By the way.
Yeah, it's a
mine
great
was
idea.
pickle juice. By
Yeah.
the way. I had pickle juice over here. That was
Do I shoot this or do I just sip? Is it a sipper? Or
I mean,
is
it's a
it
drink
shooter?
fast or
It's a drink
shoot or
fast,
drink
yeah.
fast.
That's like apple cider vinegar or something.
Damn right it is.
Yeah. Really kind of.
That's a cleanser.
Yes, getting me right here. Woo. That's good.
JP,
Okay.
load up on the toilet paper.
Okay. 5. Did you want to read the question? Want me to read it?
You read it to yourself, I guess. Yeah.
What's a financial hill you'll die on? Okay.
Oh, I know this one for you.
I'm a value guy.
Yeah. Back to the dividends only.
I'm a value guy. So it's
Yeah, choking on his own
been a
words.
good.
Have some water. Pour yourself.
It's been a really good blend for us. Corey being a big growth guy and a value guy. I am a value guy. I like value. I don't want to overpay for stuff. I buy
About chairs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a pretty good point. Okay, touche. That's a good point. So, okay. How was the value I sent you earlier? Was did you like that value?
It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. Yeah.
That's a good point. So, no, I want to buy low, sell high. Don't get stuck on. You don't have to fall in love with it. You know, it needs to be a bit tactical. That's me.
Right.
I'll die on that hill a bit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Woo-wee.
There's a lot of smells in this
Yeah.
room. And we already have 8?
8's that's a shot. That's a shot on that's a personal side, right? So oh no, you haven't actually. This is gonna be this got asked by the right person.
And he should roll again for a drink, right?
Oh yes, of course. Yes, of
What
course.
do I need for the rum?
The rum is 3, I think.
Yeah, number
Three?
8.
Yeah, 4.
Four?
Roll a
Come
4.
on, 4. Oh,
Okay.
what the hell is coming
This
into
is
my
an easy
cup?
entry.
What hell is coming into my cup now?
So we ask him question 8 though, and he pours number 1. Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that looks interesting.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, that
Oh my
looks so
God!
good.
Well, that's disgusting again.
It's not. It's not.
Oh my God, that looks
It's like
awful.
orange juice. It has pulp.
That looks so awful.
No, it's
Oh
good.
God.
No, there's something else in here. There's
Some-
like
Well, I'm
Number-
not saying it's not.
yeah, there's
No, I'm
like
just saying it's
ginger or
like-
something.
Number 8. What's the most awkward client meeting
How's
you've
that one
ever
hit?
had?
Oh, did it?
boy.
It hit like that?
Oh.
It was ginger. Yeah. Wow. Oh, that's good.
Jeez. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Number 8. What's the most awkward client meeting you've ever had?
Oh boy.
Ooh boy.
So
Oh, I could guess.
very early on, I was going to this gentleman's place to do a life insurance application.
Okay.
And he opened the door, and I thought I was on an episode of Hoarders. I have never seen so much stuff piled up in every aspect of the room.
Oh,
and
boy.
I'm not even exaggerating. When we sat down at the kitchen table, and heaven forbid this guy listens to this podcast, I sit down at the table, and he literally had
Oh,
a
boy.
pail beside the table, and he pushed
Oh.
stuff into the pail so we could have a little work area.
Oh wow.
That one was
That was tough.
that was tough to stay there.
That was tough.
That was
A
tough.
little claustrophobic
I-
with
in-
stacks of.
Looking back now, I probably should have got up and left and not have done it in the first place. But being the the salesman and the diehard to make a sale at that point in time, I
committed.
stayed. It was bad. Yeah, that one's up
wow.
there.
That's tough.
That one was tough.
My
Yeah.
mom
Good
told
for
me
you.
she
Good
had a
for
dog
you.
pee on her leg one time. She was at a
Yeah.
client's house at a farm or something, and they were like literally the dog is like latching onto her.
Yeah.
And she's trying to be like, oh, Mr. and Mrs. And she's trying to be nice and cordial, and the dog is just peeing all over her.
my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's awful, Corey. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Michael.
Oh yeah. Roll back.
Okay.
Mike dodges the drink. 7. Okay, so you're on the financial side. On the financial question side, oh, you got to roll one more time. Is that it?
No, I was just passing it to you.
You got to roll one more time because
Oh, I do.
just because we.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, not the drink. Because on the financial side, we just need another question. 7.
Sevens again.
You already had
Game's
that.
rigged.
Come on.
It's
3
rigged.
sevens.
3
4
sevens.
sevens. That's
Wow.
4.
Lucky
For the
7.
casino. Oh,
Oh,
5
seriously.
sevens.
That dice is
Five-
like
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
this
5
thing's
five
sevens.
jacked. This thing's jacked.
8.
That's jacked.
What is happening? That's
That's a
6
scam.
in a row?
This is a scam.
It's the Matrix.
Okay. Wow.
This is a scam.
8. Did we already talk about the overhyped tool?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we're going to do it again.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's right.
3.
I think we did it.
I did that already. Yeah, we did it
All
already.
right, if you guys can think of a question.
Oh, maybe when there's too many rolls,
Okay.
Shawn, you just got to go to the
The hot sauce.
hardest
The hot sauce.
and the biggest drink possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I just roll for a drink?
Okay, number 4.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
I'll just do that. Let's do that. Have you ever bought a stock or a fund just because someone at a barbecue or a social event said it was a good idea?
I mean, did I buy that stock? One comes to mind right away that I
Right.
didn't buy, but I'm not a big like individual stock guy.
Sure. Yeah,
Over
yeah.
the years, I've only held a handful.
I've done it.
I mean, I definitely, my brother-in-law is a huge Tesla guy.
Right.
He's an automotive engineer.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's got an awesome Tesla
Yeah.
car. And he's been a big Elon guy since the early days.
Yeah.
We've definitely bought Tesla largely because of his influence.
Right.
That's not barbecue talk exactly.
No, but-
He's very knowledgeable. Not to say the barbecue talk isn't always, but sometimes it's not.
It's almost like that
But
firefighter
there's-
joke, right? It's like,
I know there's another one. I know there's got to be another one that I can't. The name's not coming to me right away.
Yeah.
So I'll stick on that one.
it's almost like that firefighter or pilot joke. It's like, how do you know there's a guy that buys Tesla in the room?
Because he tells you. Because he tells you. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, 1. I'm on the or no, that's again. I'm not rolling any evens here. But I'll do this for fun.
Yeah,
I want to do the drinks.
Yeah.
I want to do the drinks. So we're rolling for drink here. I'll do question one. And question. No, we already did 8. So just pick a personal question you want to ask, Mike. But pour number 1 for me.
Pour number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's an easy one. Well, maybe not. Corey didn't like it.
Okay. Give it a try.
I thought we were gonna do all alcohol. Like, what is happening?
Nice scotches.
Yeah, like
We gotta throw
how
your
about some like there's
Nice
like it's like there's
scotches.
worms in there.
Ooh, that doesn't look
It's
good.
disgusting.
That doesn't look good. Okay.
It's like he made elixirs or something.
That I'll just describe it for some because someone's not looking at this right now. Kind of looks like chicken soup.
It's disgusting.
That smells. It definitely got garlic all over that. That's garlic.
should've put
And is it?
No, it's not good.
It is something with
But it's
with a
ginger.
right
Oh, it's ginger. Sorry, ginger.
it's
Yeah, yes, ginger. But it kind of looks like the consistency of chicken soup. It's kind of mucky and stuff in there.
Yeah, it's
That's going to be tough going down.
You can handle it, though. We believe in you.
Okay. Yep. Wow. Okay, I'm good. So which question are we going to do here?
It was quite.
You can ask
I
any
don't know.
question you
You're gonna
want.
just pick one. 5.
Or 5?
Have we done 5?
I did that one already. I think it was 1. So what's the dumbest thing you've ever bought over $1,000? I talk about this all the time, actually. When I was younger at university, man, I needed to have, for some reason, this amazing CD collection. I thought it was like, I'm going to be so cool. I'm going to have like this catalog of CDs. I even labeled them with stickers and stuff like colors like jazz. This is rock and roll, soft rock. Like, so ridiculous. So ridiculous. You know how much money I spent as a young adult
More than
on CDs so that I could
Yep.
feel like I was like,
You're the guy.
I'm the guy.
That's coming to me for
I've
my
got a great
CDs.
music collection.
Get in here.
It's ridiculous. I don't have one CD right now. Like,
How many
obviously-
CDs did you have? Peak CDs.
Oh, geez.
Are we talking like
Hundreds.
a few hundred, 1,000?
No, I'd say a few hundred. Like hundreds. Like I had hundreds of CDs. It was ridiculous. Like catalog and wall units and just like amazing. And I thought, this is amazing. Like if someone wants to listen to something,
Like this forever.
it's all here.
Right. That's the
But
place.
it's the place. And then now,
And now it's
for $9.99 or whatever minimal fee we pay, I don't have any CDs, and you can listen to literally
It's-
any album ever produced.
Yeah, who knew that? Think of all those songs, and you could just speak right now.
Yeah.
Say, play this song, and
know,
one of our
I know,
devices would
totally.
start playing it.
I realize there's without uncertainty is that it's definitely hurt the music industry in some way or fashion. But man, there's
Taylor's doing okay.
sure. But I'm sure there's smaller artists that wish they could sell the CDs and just don't get that. But man,
Yeah.
has it ever changed? And what a stupid investment. I've actually calculated, like, what if I would have spent that or invested that instead of buying those dumb CDs? Major problem. I should never have done that. So that's the dumbest thing I've ever bought, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, do
Yeah.
you feel better now that you've got that out there?
Yeah, it's off my chest and I drank that garbage, whatever that was.
Or you're up.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, can't wait. Can you rinse my chicken soup here, please, before I yeah.
Rinse, pass
Or
me
actually,
that
just put it in this one. Just put the rum in this one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Here, pass that to Michael.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do that for you.
I'll have to. There we go.
Do.
A 3. How come there's only certain numbers that come up on this?
dice.
thing?
Like
I don't know.
Mike is
My
a
son
cheater.
must have.
When it comes to like this is
Yeah,
this
we're
one
not,
rolls
we're not gambling
This
with
is
them.
from the Grinch Stole Christmas, almost like Snakes and Ladders edition.
Oh, so that's another 3.
Okay.
Another 8. 3 8s and 7s. That's all that comes up here.
So we're gonna do personal or you want to do financial?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
Finally, something nice to sip on. My God.
Okay. Here's a financial one because you've done a lot of personal ones. What's one tax strategy that nobody uses enough?
Life insurance shares.
Yeah. Perfect. And I knew we were going to talk about that today.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Okay. Perfect. That's a good one to look up. That's a good one.
Yep.
Good. Michael.
Beautiful. This is my no drink for you.
I have one anyways.
6. Oh, that's a hurt one. That's one. That's
Oh, thank God.
Oh,
this guy.
yes.
I will join you.
Perfect.
Like next time, can you make stuff that looks nice at least? Like we're
I mean, I
not
could have
like
blended it
Like this
more
is
or
like
something.
witch's brew.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the.
Do you want to roll for that? Or do you want to
appeal
just
to
pick
the
one?
game.
Personal, I guess. On personal, I
piss,
guess.
yeah, or just pick one.
Yeah, he just piss it. He says. Yeah.
Okay. What?
I'd say pick one.
Yeah.
Okay. What's one thing about your
Never
job?
making it to the air.
What number 10? What's one thing about your job you'd never tell people? That we do podcasts and drink?
Oh, they're gonna know. They're gonna know.
Oh boy.
One thing you'd never tell people about your job.
Oh my gosh. That we only, I don't know, you only spend about 30% of the time with clients, maybe, or at least in
Right.
my job. I
Right.
think some of my clients think I'm like meeting. Some
Right.
days it's like that,
Yes.
but probably 30% of my time is client facing.
Right. Right.
That
Yeah.
was very weak, Michael. Very weak.
I don't know what else.
Yeah.
I'm not good with superlatives like never.
Never.
always.
Always.
So like, what do I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know.
Well, that's
Anyway.
good. It's good. Okay.
Here I go. Get the Tums ready for me.
Okay. Well, we're just finishing up here. It looks like it time-wise. I want to go on to any other topics before we wrap up today's segment.
You got to chew that one a little bit.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't want to chew my drinks, Michael. It's not a soup.
Oh, yeah. Feeling that in the front face.
So I think for people, looking out, going into 2026,
Yeah.
look at what things cost. Make sure, for the love of God, get your will done.
Absolutely.
If you're a business owner, look at getting a second will.
Right.
And if
Right.
you need to know why,
That's why you need somebody professional.
exactly.
Yeah. Too many questions. If you probably hit 5 questions, you probably shouldn't be doing it yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
If you don't understand it, don't do it.
Yeah.
Got to be able to sleep at night.
Yeah, exactly. Michael, is there any other topics? We've covered a lot today. Is there anything that's, aside from maybe the recipes that we could share with our listeners on some of these
Those will be in the show notes.
amazing,
Those will be in the show notes.
amazing drinks? Is there
We
anything
have
else?
some clients that actually are into mixology, and it looks like you're going to be having a session with one.
Yeah. You send for training.
Yeah, like
something I-
just get back to basics here.
Sign you up like rum and coke.
Yeah, like how about something palatable,
Tasty.
like just tasty?
Oh, man.
Yeah,
That was good. So we're the next time maybe we'll be in charge of the drinks. That's good. I like this. It was a good idea. I like that. It was good. I like kind of the sludge stuff too. That's kind of fun.
Yeah,
It's,
a little different, right?
it's a little different. Kind of gets daring a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind
I
of put
brought
yourself
eggs,
out
but I
there.
didn't break any of those out. Thanks.
eggs.
Ooh,
Jesus.
that would be good.
Yeah, but back to your question.
Right.
I'll try to keep this nice and tight. Money can't buy happiness, right? We touched on that earlier.
Right.
There's some really interesting research around that, where money buys happiness. Money kind of buys happiness for the least emotionally well people,
Right.
but it plateaus.
Right.
For people that are kind of mid emotional well-being, it's a pretty linear relationship. More money, more happiness. And then maybe the most fascinating part out of this research is that for people that are at the higher end of the emotional well-being, money actually above $100,000 seems to accelerate happiness.
Is that right?
So incomes above 100K,
Right.
people with high emotional well-being, they actually become exponentially happier. Again, within some limits.
Sure.
But what that tells me is you can work on all the strategy and the tax and the this and the that, but you've got to take care of yourself and your kind of internal self first.
Yep.
And then making these improvements financially will pay the biggest dividends.
Of course.
That is, I'd say, my takeaway, my push is.
But if you're not going to
go
spend
to
that time,
2026.
doesn't matter what you're buying, doesn't matter. It's not going to improve your well-being.
No.
So look after you first, just like the oxygen mask dropping from
Yes.
the plane. Put the oxygen mask, look after yourself, and then after that, get some cash in the bank. It'll just give you,
That's right.
if nothing else, it just opens some doors, right? You don't need to be wealthy to be happy, but certainly having some dollars in the bank will allow you to take some extra time, spend some time with your family, take some pressure off.
Well, my wife seems to think that she gets happiness from an Amazon order.
I can't comment. I've done it too many
Lands
times.
on your doorstep.
I'm guilty.
Yeah,
I'm guilty.
Retail therapy, baby.
I am guilty of that. Yeah. Probably. I've had too many Amazon boxes come. Yeah. It's all good. Well, guys,
How about you, Shawn? What do you got?
What are you thinking for
any parting thoughts
2026 outlook for a business owner? What should you be doing?
Yeah, I think taking a moment to get your ducks in a row. Like I said that earlier, but I think sometimes people get too busy. We talk about that every time I see an owner. I talk about planning. So get some planning. Spend some time asking the questions like, what am I paying for fees? What should I be doing next? How should I be deploying this cash in my business? What's my strategy? I think succession and valuation of your company is so important. This is missed all the time. So for me, I spend a lot of time with business owners. I think a hot spot is one of the first questions is, what's important to you? What's your values lie? Where do you see yourself in 10 or 15 years? And as soon as we start talking about that, it opens up a lot of gaps. Like they don't have a succession plan. They don't know about valuation. They don't know what their business is worth. They don't know what they should do next. A lot of confusion. They feel like there are things that are left last minute. So it's like, hey, we can provide some clarity here. So I think to answer your question, sit down, take a pause, do some inventory, ask the questions, get some help. Life's going to feel a lot better.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Make some of this hot stuff because whatever
whatever
problems you had before, drink Mike's famous hot sauce drink, and you won't think about any of your problems anymore.
No, just dial 911.
Have a cold bath and some of that, and you're gonna be good.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. It's awesome. Anyways, I hope this podcast resonates with somebody. Great having you on, Mike.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This is awesome.
I love this. Having a great time.
Great dialogue, Corey. Awesome.
Absolutely. No,
Great
it's been
chat.
another great year again, and looking forward to 26. And let's keep doing it.